what is a piece of wisdom that is timeless you would share with someone that you have currently been through an experience?
Yes, and yes, for me, number one, because it's really what I learned out of like August 2018, leaving my industry, taking a break out of it. The first message is really like serve yourself first to then be able to serve others.
Yes.
And we go back to, you are in an airplane, and when there is a security check, the steward will tell you, in case of an emergency, oxygen mask will drop, put yourself first, your mask, and then help others.
Yeah.
Well, it's actually what you can do as well every day. First on yourself is to give you some time for yourself first thing in the morning, to then be able to serve others. And it's moving from selfishness to selflessness.
Yep.
And we may think at first it's selfish, but actually no, we're doing good to ourselves first to then be able to do good for others.
I fully agree. I've heard that analogy before, and it's the same thing. Like, you can't fill up someone else's cup unless your cup has got something in it to pour into the other person, right? And so I fully agree with that. I think for people that are very altruistic, or people that are born givers, they're people that want to be of service, and that is their nature. Okay, that you have like a dominant nature to be always the one that serves first, especially in the hospitality industry. I think sometimes that can be such a subconscious pattern. And so when you go into this framework, sometimes there's a bit of a changing phase, where you're trying to work out, am I selfish or am I selfless? Where does it stop, or where do you go too far? What would you advise? I mean, so when you say that is, I agree with you, and I know that's a lesson people should understand and learn. But when you were going through it, were there points, I'm assuming you were like, someone might think I'm being selfish now. Someone might think, well, that's not the old Bilitis. She never used to do that. She would always come and help me first. But now I'm seeing she's trying to keep some time for herself, and she's, it's not who they have always seen. So how did you deal with maybe some of that comment or feedback as you become from person A to person B, because you're growing? How did you react and deal with the outside world adjusting?
Yes. And that's a great question, because it's going to connect with the second message that I will share. It's to reframe again on, are you pleasing or are you serving?
Okay.
And so in the sense of like is it like what you want to is it what you are about to do? Are you doing it because you must do it, or because you want to do it? And the energy you are bringing with you is totally different. So so about, if it's something you want to do, you're going to do it better. And it's as well making a service to the person. If you're not feeling like doing it, if you can, don't show up, because you're not going to give your best.
Yes.
And at the same time, yes. So, and an example, a recent example, this weekend, we were like, I'm living at the moment with my parents, and they were invited by friends for dinner. And so I was invited. However, I'm like, oh, well, next day morning, I'm having a early hiking. I'm not going. And so this was a perfect fit for me, because I knew I would not, I was not at my place over there. I would not have much fun. And I let them have their moment, and I had mine. And so I had my evening free. I had planned to do stuff. And what happened is that actually a friend of mine was not going that well. But because I say no to this event, I was fully free to focus on her and support her. So we spent the next an hour and a half talking, and there I was serving.
Yes. Now that's a very, very powerful distinction. Are you pleasing or are you serving? And like you say, is it a must do or a want to do? And there's a few language patterns that apply to this, which I can expand on. And I think it's, I learned this from Dr. DeMartini, who you may have heard of, but it's when you're following your passion or your purpose or what you're guided by. So, they say there's an angelic side of us and an animalistic side. And we're always as we live and we go through our daily life, certain things, perceptions, questions, people, environments, we're moving, making decisions based on where our state is at the time. If we're really connected to the purpose and the journey and the path, and we know that's on the forefront, then we will make decisions like you made, which is, you know what, I have to look after myself tomorrow and do a hike. I've got a certain set of tasks tomorrow. And so if I go, I'm kind of must go, or I should go, just to keep maybe mom and dad happy, or the potential friend happy because you show your face, right? But of course, it's pleasing versus serving, because when you're really truly serving, you are following what you're here on earth to do. And when you're following what you're here on earth to do, which is your purpose, by default, the byproduct is you will be of service to multitudes of people. And the universe just proved it in what happened to you on a smaller scale, where one friend, needed you at that time and your availability was there. But John DeMartini talks about, you love to do it, you like to do it, you want to do it, and then I get to do it. And then once you sort of pass that, it becomes, I should, I need, I must, I have to. And as you start to go further down on that, that's going into the fear mindset. That's going into the roles of, you would be doing a task or action away from your highest purpose. So what will end up happening is you're going to your end destination, or the outcome you talked about, which was, how will I be remembered at the end? If you start doing should, must, have to, got to, versus love, want to, like to, the other ones lead you this way, and then you're coming back. So whenever you do something that's, a must or a need or a should, instead of following your purpose, you sort of divert, because you're going away into a different zone, a different work. Like you say, go to the dinner, for example, which is not aligned. And then the cost is opportunity cost of where you were going. So it just happens a bit later. Or that friend might need you the next day at another time when you have an appointment, and now you're shuffling the whole day to try and change your schedule. And then sometimes usually what happens, especially with people that are in an industry of helping others, we'll sacrifice our specific task, skip a meal, miss reading out on a half an hour book, or miss the gym just to do that. But at the end of the day, if you do that consistently, then you don't feel aligned, healthy, fresh, both on mind and body. So I think for those listening, I asked you to give me a couple of things that you would pass on to people. Both of them are super powerful, Bilitis, especially the second one. I really like the second one about, are you pleasing or are you serving? So thank you for sharing.